When I was a kid, I wanted to see if I could walk on water, so I start filling up the bathtub. At first, I'm just standing there watching it rise and thinking this is a great idea. Then I get distracted, and when I look back, the water is right at the edge. So I grab the faucet to turn it off, and the handle snaps off in my hand, and the water keeps running. Water starts spilling onto the floor, so I try pulling the stopper up, but it's stuck. Then I tried scooping water with my hands, but it slipped through my fingers. After that, I panic and try sucking the water up and spitting it into the toilet, but that takes way too long. Now the bathroom floor is completely flooded, and I hear my dad pull into the driveway. So I run to the backyard and shut off the main water valve, and then I go sit on the couch like everything's normal. My dad walks in, and a few seconds later, he goes upstairs. Then I hear him yell my name from the bathroom, and that's when I learned you can turn off the water, but you can't turn off the consequences. When I was a kid, I wasn't supposed to ride my bike past the corner. I'm outside riding up and down the driveway, and everything is fine. Then I start getting bored, and I roll a little closer to the corner. I stop and look around, and nobody is outside, so I keep riding. I make it past the corner, and I feel grown. I ride a little farther and a little farther until I hear my neighbor yell my name and say they're calling my dad. I panic and slam the brakes, and the chain pops off the bike. I jump off and start trying to fix it, but I don't know what I'm doing. I look up and see my dad's car turning onto the street. I grab the bike and start running with it instead of riding it. I'm sweating, trying to act normal when he pulls into the driveway. He looks at the bike in my hands, then looks at the chain hanging off. By one look at me, he already knew I went past the corner. And that's when I learned freedom feels fun until your bike snitches on you. The other day, I parked my Tesla in a huge parking lot and told myself I would remember exactly where it was. I walk into the store feeling confident, and I end up taking way longer than planned. When I come back out, I walk straight to the spot I'm sure I parked, and my car is not there. So I start walking faster, thinking I'm one row off, but every row looks the same. I pull my phone out to check the Tesla app, and it says the location is unavailable. Now my heart starts racing. I refresh the app again, and it still won't load. I try using Summon, and it just spins like it's thinking about it. At this point, I'm pacing through the lot holding my phone up like it's going to help. I finally get the app to load, and the map jumps, but it's pointing somewhere that makes no sense. I follow it anyway and end up on the opposite side of the lot surrounded by cars that are definitely not mine. Now I'm sweating, trying to stay calm while walking in circles, pretending I'm on a phone call. I refresh the app one more time and the location updates again. I look up and my car is sitting exactly where I left it the whole time. And that's when I learned technology is amazing until it decides to humble you in public. The other day, I'm in the store grabbing a few things, and I leave my cart at the end of the aisle because I'm just going to grab one item. I walk a few steps away and find what I need, so I turn back around and my cart is gone. I stand there confused, thinking I'm tripping. So I walk to the end of the aisle and look left and right, and it's not there. I start walking down the next aisle, thinking maybe I pushed it farther than I thought. Still nothing. Now I'm retracing my steps, trying to remember what aisle I was just in. I start checking random aisles, hoping I spot my cart from a distance. At this point, I'm walking fast, pretending I know where I'm going so nobody thinks I'm lost. I finally see a cart that looks like mine, and I rush over relieved until I notice it has completely different items inside. Now I'm embarrassed grabbing a cart that isn't mine. I keep searching and eventually find my cart on the other side of the store with one extra item inside. That's when I learned if you leave your cart unattended, it starts a new life without you. I was jogging through the park when my music suddenly stopped. I slow down and tap my ear, thinking my headphones died, but nothing happens. That's when I reach into my pocket to check my phone, and my pocket is empty. Now my heart is racing because I know I had it when I started. I stop jogging and start walking back the way I came, staring at the ground like I dropped a winning lottery ticket. I keep replaying the run in my head, trying to remember when it could have fallen out. I check my other pocket even though I already know it's not there. I try dinging my phone from my Apple Watch, but it says the device is too far away, which somehow makes it worse. Now I'm speed walking, checking benches, bushes, trash cans, and even under picnic tables. I'm sweating and pacing, pretending I'm still exercising so nobody thinks I'm panicking. After a few minutes, I hear faint music playing somewhere behind me. I stop and listen and turn around slowly. I walk back toward the sound and see my phone sitting on a bench right where I stopped earlier to stretch. And that's when I learned panic turns your brain off way faster than your phone battery. I was walking through the park when I started hearing footsteps matching mine perfectly. Every step I took, they took one too. I stopped walking and the footsteps stopped instantly. I tell myself it's probably nothing, but I keep going anyway. As soon as I walk again, the footsteps come back. Now I'm walking slower, trying to stay calm, and they slow down with me. I speed up a little and they speed up too. At this point, I'm pretending to stretch just so I can look behind me without looking obvious. I don't see anyone there. I start walking again and the sound comes right back like it never left. Now my brain is fully panicking and I'm replaying every scary movie scene I've ever seen. I slow down again and everything goes quiet. I look around and still don't see anyone. Then I look down and notice gravel stuck in the bottom of my shoe, scraping every time I step. I take one step and hear it. I drag my foot and hear it again. I shake my shoe and the sound stops completely. And that's when I learned fear will convince you of anything when you're alone long enough. I was out for a jog when I saw a trail that looked like a shortcut straight back to my house. At first it feels smart because it looks like the trail is gonna cut right through the neighborhood. But after a while, I slow down and realize I should have been out by now. I keep jogging thinking it'll open up any second, but it doesn't. Now there's nothing but woods on both sides. I pull my phone out to check my GPS and I've got no service. That's when I start questioning every decision I've ever made. I keep moving and end up crossing this weird Chinese bridge that looks like it hasn't been used in years. Halfway across, I realize I really have to pee. So I run under the bridge, and right when I'm about to relax, I hear what sounds like an alligator roar. I get my butt right back to the trail. Then I start hearing movement on both sides of the woods. So I quickly grab a stick like that's going to help me in any way. Then I finally see some kids riding by on their bikes. So I start calling out for help, but they just keep riding like I'm part of the scenery. I start jogging faster, telling myself I'm fine until the trail finally opens up. I look up relieved, but realize I'm standing right back where I started. And that's when I learned that shortcuts only work if they actually go somewhere. I walk outside ready to leave, and my Tesla immediately lets me know I messed up. The battery is basically on life support. I tell myself it's fine because I'll just plug it in real quick. I grab the home charger and nothing happens. I unplug it and plug it back in like that's going to help, but still nothing. Now I'm checking the app and refreshing it over and over hoping it fixes itself, but it doesn't. That's when I remember I've got a slow charger that plugs into a regular outlet. I grab it and realize the cable doesn't even reach the car, so I find an extension cord and plug it in, but the outlet doesn't work. Now I'm connecting every extension cord I own and tracing it all the way to the backyard looking for a working outlet. I finally plug it in and the car starts charging. I hop in the car relieved and look at the screen until it says the car will be fully charged in 5 years. And that's when I learned why people still prefer gas cars. So I wake up with the great idea this morning to grab donuts for my family, thinking this is going to be an easy win. I get in the car and realize I forgot my wallet, so I have to go back inside already annoyed. I finally pull off and hit traffic immediately like everyone in the city woke up craving donuts too. I reroute thinking I'm being smart and end up stuck behind the slowest car I've ever seen. The light turns green and we barely move. I finally pull into the Dunkin' parking lot and the drive-through line is wrapped all the way around the building. I think about going to another Dunkin' but convince myself that would just make it worse. So I park, and as I'm getting out of the car, I notice a sign on the door that says cash only. At this point, I'm too deep to quit, so I drive to the bank, get cash, and tell myself, okay, I saved it. I get back to Dunkin' standing in line, feeling confident, and that's when they tell me they're out of all the donuts everyone actually wants. I walk back to the car holding a box full of jelly donuts, already knowing nobody asked for these. And that's when I learned doing something nice in the morning will test your patience before it rewards you. I knew this was going to be a long night when we got to the Christmas fair. Caden wanted to get on every single ride. At first, I was down because I used to love rides when I was his age, but I quickly realized they've come up with some crazy rides since I was a kid. These new rides are faster and jerkier, and right when you think they can't get any worse, they do. One of those rides almost made me get sick, and Destiny was done after that. After catching my breath, I'm trying to pace myself, but Caden is already pulling me toward the biggest ride there, some crazy roller coaster. I tell myself it's fine because I'm not a wimp. We get strapped in, and I'm already rethinking my choices. As soon as it takes off, I'm ready to get off. Then we hit the first drop, and Caden's laughing with his hands up like it's all a game. I'm holding on for dear life, pretending like I'm having fun. Right when I think it's almost over, the roller coaster goes for another round. When it finally stops, he immediately wants to go again. I step off dizzy, trying to walk normal while he's asking what's next. And that's when I realized being the fun dad requires joints I no longer have. I bought electric drums so I could play while the baby was asleep. That was the whole reason. I plug everything in thinking I'm being responsible. I sit down and tap a pad lightly. Nothing happens, so I tap it again, still nothing. Now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to turn something on, so I press a button. Suddenly, a demo drum beat starts blasting through the speakers. I panic because Kaylani is sleeping. I start hitting buttons trying to turn it off, but it's just changing beats. I start turning knobs, but that doesn't stop it either. So now I'm yanking cables out the back one by one, and every time I pull one, the drums just keep going like they're offended. I'm pressing buttons so fast, I don't even know what I'm pressing anymore. I unplug it from the wall, and it's still playing. Now I'm really panicking. I finally grab some headphones and plug them in just to stop the noise. The room goes quiet. I look up relieved, and Destiny is standing there holding Kaylani, giving me that death stare. And that's when I learned electric drums are only quiet if nobody presses the wrong button. So I'm in the living room trying to throw away this huge box. My new electric drum set came in. I grab it confidently, and the box does not move at all. I'm like, okay, that was weird. I open the box thinking maybe I missed something heavy inside, but it's just a bunch of smaller boxes. So now I'm thinking maybe it's just me. So I go to the garage and lift a couple dumbbells real quick to prove a point. Feeling strong, I go back to the box and still can't move it. Now I'm confused. So I call Destiny to help me, and even both of us together can't lift it. At this point, I'm annoyed. I grab a dolly thinking I'll just roll it out, but I can't even get the dolly under the box. So now I grab some scissors to cut the box apart, but the cardboard is ridiculously strong. I just didn't understand how I was able to bring it in with the drums, but now it's heavier without them. That's when it hits me. I grab my saw and announce I'm cutting the box in half, and suddenly my son Caden pops out laughing. And that's when I learned kids turn empty boxes into furniture. So I thought I had everything on Caden's Christmas list, but decided to check it twice. That's when I realized I missed his top gift, a drone. It's Christmas Eve, and now I'm stressed out. I'm driving store to store hoping someone one has one left in stock, but everywhere is sold out. So now I'm sitting in my Tesla searching online for same-day delivery and nothing. Then I start checking Facebook Marketplace, but I didn't feel like dealing with people today. At this point, I'm mad because this is the main thing he actually wanted. But then it hits me. I already have a drone. I rush home and run into my closet, grab the drone and wrap it up the best that I can. Christmas morning comes and Caden opens it and he's excited and I'm smiling thinking I pulled it off. Then he looks at the remote, then looks at his phone. He goes, "Dad, this uses a lightning cable and my iPhone is USB-C." And that's when I learned Christmas can fail over the wrong cable. Amazon said my wife's gift was arriving Christmas morning, so my plan was simple. I was gonna grab it early and put it under the tree before everyone came downstairs. But when I checked the porch, there was no box. So I pull out my phone and check the tracking and it says out for delivery. I'm like, okay, cool, we're fine. A few minutes later, I refresh it and now it says 10 stops away. I start moving around real fast, trying to speed up time. Christmas morning starts and I'm constantly checking my phone. Destiny asked if there was any gift for her, and I tell her it's almost here. Then the tracking updates again and now it says arriving by tonight. My stomach drops. I start pacing, pretending I'm just stretching my legs. I keep checking the porch, hoping maybe it came and the app just didn't update, but nothing. A few minutes later, my phone buzzes and Amazon says delivered. I run outside to grab her gift, but the porch is empty. I walk up and down the driveway like maybe they hid it somewhere. Still nothing. Then I check the app again and it updates to your delivery may be lost. And that's when I learned Amazon confidence is not Christmas confidence.